Do you believe that Jesus is God or Son of God?
No, I believe
It's not just the Sheikh, but most of the Muslims would also ask this question: how can Jesus be both God and Son of God? Doesn't it feel that Christianity is contradicting itself? And this must be putting words in the heads of people like it's illogical to say that God can be his own son. If it's true, then how? Let's try to find out. So welcome guys to my channel. If you are new here, please do subscribe and share with your fellow being. And don't forget to leave your feedback in the comments section. So let's try to learn. Now, let me show you that Jesus can be both God and Son of God at the same time. So let's try to learn. Son of God means the King of Israel. The title Son of God has more meaning than what we or Muslims have been thinking on this topic. One of the reasons why Jesus has been called the Son of God was to do or is to do with the fact that this was the saying that Jesus is the King of Israel. In the Psalms, we can see the King of Israel was always referred as the Son of God. Psalms chapter 2 verse 4 to 8. There are reasons why psalmist using this, which takes us back to the past when God made a promise to the King David, in which God told the King David that from his family would be a part of royal dynasty that would last forever, starting with David's son Solomon, and each king that comes out of David's family would have a special relationship with God. Each one would likely to be son of God. 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 12 to 16. Jesus can be both God and Son of God at the same time because the terms don't mean the same thing. Therefore, when we say that Jesus is God, John chapter 1 verse 1 to 14 and Hebrew chapter 1 verse 8, we are already saying that Jesus has influenced the divine nature as well as the human nature, which is called the hypostatic union. But the Son of God does not mean that Jesus is not God, but Jesus has the likeness of God as his or Jesus's own Father. Therefore, when Jesus called God his own Father, then Jesus was making himself equal to God, whereas the term Son of God is an identification of equality with God when it is referred to Jesus Christ, John chapter 5 verse 18. Therefore, it is a title of Jesus' greatness, holiness, and relationship to God the Father. In fact, we can notice how Pharisees wanted to kill Jesus for proclaiming himself as the Son of God, John chapter 10 verse 30 to 36 and John chapter 8 verse 58 to 59. Now, Jesus' word plays an important role in determining whether Jesus is God or not. When Jesus used the greatest I am is similar to Exodus chapter 3 verse 14 to 15. Son means exact likeness, as we all know that Jesus was a Jew. Therefore, in first century Jewish culture, being the son of someone, being begotten by them, meant that son would always bore his father's exact likeness. Whereas in one perspective, this should not be surprising for anyone because with some expectations, a son would always end up taking the career as his father's, and I hope you guys are getting me. Therefore, being called up a particular man's son also means that you are someone's son, where just like them as your father in material ways, particularly their characteristics and nature, as we have seen above. Jesus Christ using the words similar to God the Father and doing unbelievable things. Therefore, this brings us to believe that Jesus is identical to God the Father in many ways, and this is the reason why Jewish or Jews said it was wickedness for Jesus to call God his own Father. John chapter 5 verse 18. Now we can see how Jewish reacted to Jesus calling God his own Father. Therefore, by calling God his own Father, Jesus made himself equal to God. Again, to be someone's son meant you share their essence. You had the exact same nature as them, as your father or mother. And I hope you guys like this video. Please do subscribe and share with your fellow being. And don't forget to leave your feedback in the comment section, and many more episodes are coming up.